Another beautiful day of working on the van. We're going to start out today by putting up the rest of that wall and then finishing up the window trim on both sides. So we found that it's super hard to work on the window trim underneath those big cabinets. It just sucks. You keep hitting your head on them every time that you work. You can't fit underneath them. Ugh, it's terrible. So we're gonna make sure that we do the window trim first over here. We're gonna put the walls on, finish up the other half of the bed on this side, and then start building out all the cool stuff in the front of the van that we've been waiting for. It's getting to a really exciting point, and I absolutely can't wait to show you what we're gonna build up there. We're gonna have a full shower in a couple days. That's pretty cool, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So yeah, let's get started. First, I gotta set up everything. Open up shop. Oh, installation master.
Hello.
Tell us how things are going.
Fine.
Actually, 9
I
inches
think
down
we're
the-
finally at the installation finish line.
Yeah, I agree. Did I tell you we have to insulate all the windows up front?
So on center, 9 inches down from the ceiling.
All windows up.
Right?
I'm kidding.
That's where you are, Linda?
Yep. 9.
Oh, we gotta cut. Oh, you got
Little more spray foam.
one you just did.
So fascinating.
I just drew the box.
We measured this thing just a little bit too tight to this piece of wood here. So when we try to put the whole panel in, this thing sticks right into the metal.
Oh,
So now we gotta cut away just a little bit of the metal.
that's really pretty.
Yeah, thanks.
You can't cut that kind of metal with that little guy.
I just did.
So let's see how the plug goes in. Maybe the plug will miss. Now that we did a little bit.
I just gotta get rid of this one chunk right here and we'll be done.
The true test
Goes
of the
off to
morning.
left.
Quarter.
Yeah, that's not in yet.
Yeah, it's not in yet.
Okay, after much sadness, we now have this thing on. The top one is done, which is great. We had the window cutout went really easy. We had quite a bit of problem with this one. We accidentally put this hole just a little too close to the wood, so we had to keep scooching it over and scooching it over until it finally made it there. So that's good. And then we cut out the hole for the 110 down there. And this panel is looking great. All right, now we just got to finish up the bottom, and then we're on to window trim, and then I think we're bed makers after that. And dancers.
I make beds. We just put in the last wall. Now that we finished putting in that last side panel on our wall, we are now thinking about what to build next. We can certainly start by putting in the bench on the other side, or we can start putting up the cabinets, but we decided to work our way back forward from backwards, starting with the shower. So that's what we're working on now. This shower pan we bought also from Rec Pro.
This one.
And in case you didn't know, like I didn't know, shower pans for RVs and in general, all shower pans come with a right and a left-sided feature. So as you can see, this is a right-sided shower pan because the right side of the shower pan is finished, whereas the left side of the shower pan fits up against the wall, and this is where the drain is. Luckily that works for our configuration, but I didn't know that at the time. Our van is very wonky, and it is very challenging to find a straight edge. So, how do we find a straight edge here?
Okay, here's what I would suggest. The first thing we know is that by using a carpenter square, we can tell that this line of the bulkhead is square with the floor of the van. So that tells us that we have one square area that we can build off of. So we're going to take this square now, and we're going to turn it sideways in the location where we want our wall to be. But because vans are very curvy, this is not enough to help us establish the square line that we want. So we're going to use a second square, and what we have here is a little speed square, and we're going to put that against the side of our carpenter square. So now we're square with the whoops, stay there. Now we're square with the floor, and we are square with the wall. And this is where we're going to draw our line. And then we're going to take a flexible piece of material, and we're going to extend this line all the way up, and that's going to be our first square wall. Once we have that square wall, we should be able to build off of that while measuring over to do consecutive walls.
Amazing! The more you know.
And now we're going to just keep extending that upward till we get to the ceiling. And that's going to give us our the line of our first wall. Very exciting. We're finally getting to build walls.
Let's start going in.
Oh yeah. Power. We have power.
Now that we have a straight edge for our shower, we are trying to get the ladder built and just test it out. See if it'll work. Testing out our 110 voltage. Did it work?
Good. You want to come and see the circuit
Woo!
tester? We now have power in here that we can plug stuff
Wow.
in. Good.
We didn't hook up this stuff.
Big old J box, and
It
then that's going
works.
to nothing right
Yes.
there.
I can't light that side up yet. Till I
I know you can't tell, but the light's on.
That's our 110 volt on that side and our 12 volt on that side. So we just wired in all the rest of our shore power outlets, some of which are right there and down there, and there's one back behind Lisa over there. Okay, we're gonna plug in our first appliance onto this thing. Basically, if that green light on there goes, it will have worked. It didn't turn. Oh, my foot's on it. Yay! We did
You
it.
did it! Cool.
All right, we have outlets in the van. Outlets in the van. We can run a blender now and
Shore power.
a Instant Pot.
Yeah.
All sorts of stuff. Charge our laptops over
Yeah.
this. You know, all sorts of cool
What
stuff.
you got there?
Some drinks, I think.
Ooh.
Celebrate our new power.
Yay.
Finishing up that side of the wall that was a total beast. Now starting on the shower and the 110 volt and the electricity and all the other cool stuff we got going on. Drinks.
So because our van walls are quite curvy, you'll notice that we didn't use one large piece of 2x2 to get the frame. Instead, we broke it up into little pieces so that we could nail them in and leave a little bit room between them so that they could fit the curves nicely. So that way when we put on the siding and the waterproof vinyl of the shower, it'll fit nicely to the curve of the van. Never knew how expensive shower bases were or shower pans were, but there she is. $85 worth of shower pan. I was just gonna tell the good people what we're doing here.
What are you doing?
We're building our shower.
That's cool. Tell me more.
What you see here is a ladder of 2x2s, and we're using it as the framing for our shower wall. So after we finish this up, which we'll do by adding some more 2x2s here, you see, because we could only nail it to the floor and to the ceiling, but we also want to nail it to the wall, but it's hard to do on a curb. So we added this, and then we're going to nail some 2x2s in between, and then we're going to throw on some plywood and then some vinyl waterproof sheeting things, and that'll serve as the inside of our shower.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Way to build a shower when you don't have any straight walls.
So the 2.5s work perfect.
Okay. So we got this first wall stood up over here where the shower is gonna go, and you can see our drain down there. And now we're standing up a double wall. This is just two of those 2x2 ladders right next to each other. And the idea here is we need to give enough space. We need enough space for this to be able to sit in there and be able to actually attach the nozzles to it. So we had to build a double wall here, and that's what's connecting that. Plus it'll be nice and strong. And that goes all the way up to the ceiling. Next thing we got to do is connect them together with a bunch of screws. He looks ready. That's what I'm talking about. and then screw it together, and then all we got to do is build a bunch of the 1/4-inch plywood to make that look nice from top to bottom. Does that feel pretty solid?
Yeah.
Nice. Now we just got to build that top piece that'll attach to the ceiling. Beep, beep. I think we're done for today.
We're almost done.
Bam.
That one there.
Ups and downs today.
I am beat.
Man, that was a long one.
Physically, emotionally.
So the day started off kind of slow. We couldn't get a lot of progress done with this panel up here. This thing was terrible to put in. It's just all these weird angles, cutting out holes, nothing fit. Everybody was sad.
Yeah.
Bad start to the day. But then we broke for lunch, went in, got a little food, came back out, and then just crushed out like 80% of our shower.
We got our shower pan in, and then we're gonna put up some walls. It's gonna be great. And once we finish the shower, then we'll get to build the rest of the side of the van, the driver's side of the van, this way. So we're gonna have our fridge area, our workstation, and then the bunk. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I think this thing is going to look really different in a really good way tomorrow. I think a whole lot of progress is going to happen pretty fast because we're putting up the vertical stuff. We're finally done with the walls. We're finally done with the insulation.
Yeah.
We're finally done, I don't know, all the little stuff. I mean, you call it little. It takes a very long time and it's super important, but it doesn't really look any different.
No.
And tomorrow I think it's going to start looking a lot different.
And also, I would like to say, our place, even just looking at this camera right now, looks so different right now. We have 2 windows. We got 1 set of cabinets. It's starting to look like a home.
It's awesome, man. It's awesome.
And I think I put in my last piece of insulation.
Yeah, I don't know
today.
where else you could put one. There's nowhere else for it to go. So thank you so much for watching. We had a really great time. We hope you guys are having an awesome time watching these things and learning and just hanging out with us. If you do, please hit that subscribe button. It's totally free. And that way, when we put out another one of these, you'll be the first to be notified.
Again, before our moms. Maybe. They watched too.
So thank you so much for watching again. See you in the next one. Trim in there. It's so hard to do this. How does anybody do this? I found that it's so hard to work on the window trim underneath these. What are you pointing in 3-dimensional space? And
Look how pretty the shadow looks on
Yeah, it's
that.
going to make it difficult. It
It's
is
nice
very pretty,
though.
tree's shadow on a dead tree.
All right, so you got this end.
And oh gosh.
And breaking everything.
Oh gosh.
Breaking everything.
I got it. Yeah. Okay. Here we go.